Welcome to NJroute22.com vlog number ? I'll put the vlog number right here. I'm not sure what order this is going to be in. But let me start out by saying, A, I'm tired. I don't know what happened to me. I'm having an off day today. And a couple of my other previous videos are no good either. But hey, I like showing you guys that I'm human. Anyway, this is my little flyer, by the way. You'll see it. Hopefully, I get them delivered on Friday. I'm going to start putting them up as I can. Maybe this is an organic way of getting traffic to the site. I like to be honest and like transparent about things, you know. Anyway, let's cut to the chase here. Today's little video is about this publication called Natural Awakenings. And I want to say one thing right from the get-go. I like this publication. I think they're a great asset to this area. This particular edition is the Somerset, Middlesex, Hunterdon, Mercer, Southern Warren counties. And I guess it's a franchise of some kind. It's Natural Awakenings, Central New Jersey, or CNJ.com. I have nothing against them. However, they should probably know that I'm a critical guy. I criticize myself, you know. So it's fair game to talk about anything in a critical way. I'm not being cynical per se. But, by the way, this is like an attractive lady, right? She looks a little bit like Cameron Diaz. I've really begun to think that this may be a computer-generated image, because it's something about it doesn't look human to me. I mean, the reflection here, my lighting in this production studio isn't so great. But I've been going on 2 minutes and 30 seconds plus. But it's a book about healthy living. Now, before I move on here, there's a huge spectrum of people and their beliefs in terms of healthy living or just eating. Some people don't think about it on one side of the spectrum. They eat whatever. They eat chips. They go to McDonald's. They're unhealthy. Okay, in one capacity, and they end up living to be 100 too, believe it or not. And then there are people on the other side of the spectrum who have awakened, or whatever the hell you want to call it, and they say, all this food and these pesticides and this stuff isn't organic, it's genetically modified, and then they go, like, some people go way off to the right or left, or whatever side of the spectrum you want to call it, depending on where you are, like in Australia or America. And they become all healthy and awoke and awakened. And then I think that's part of this title is creatively worded, Natural Awakenings. I've awoken to the healthy side they kept secret from me for my whole life. And you know, anytime you get to the end of the polar opposites, it's ripe for corruption, because people take advantage of other people. It's human nature. It's been happening for a very long time, and just because it's a healthy and upbeat and positive and all this other stuff doesn't mean it's not susceptible to corruption and monetary taking advantage of. What's the word? That's the word I'm looking for. So I think anytime people, like, there's a mass of people getting involved with something, it's ripe for taking advantage of other people, and this is no exception. Just because it sounds good and it's sort of on the positive side doesn't mean that and all these key words, healthy, planet, healthy. There's three healthy keywords on this cover alone. But let's look through this. I'll get rid of my my little advertisement here, but I'll put it up just so you can see my work here. I made this in like literally a minute. Hopefully it's effective. It's very simple and there's no emotional call to action here. There's no like babies or starving children or anything like that, or like pets in need. This is just basic words. We'll see what happens. But let's look at this book now. Again, I'm not certain that girl is human, but you never know. So this book is a book about all sorts of healthy things and getting better, and they have pharmacies and medicine, and you're ill. So I'm not gonna. I didn't read the publisher letter, and I'm sure Joe Dunn is a good guy. Okay. Like I said, there's this spectrum. You really gotta kind of understand the spectrum to again, this is basically an ad book. They have some healthy topics in here, and they have all these healthy companies, because there's these healthy companies are dime a dozen. They're everywhere. They have change your life, get hypnosis, and they have a psychic in here. And there's, look at all the buzzwords: psychic, holistic, hypnosis. It's almost overwhelming. Wellness is another big a big key word. Wellness. I mean, just not giving a crap about most things is probably the best way, in my opinion, to be well. Worry, in our opinion here at this publication, worry probably is the worst thing you can do, is worry about stuff. Anyway, so the ShopRite, I think I got this at ShopRite, and that's why they have this big panel here. But there's news briefs. It's like a little magazine, a little newspaper about health, and it covers the whole spectrum of holistic or alternative medicine, as they say. Naturopath, that's another one. And hey, I'm not knocking this. I promise you. I like this book. I think it's important for society to have this book because, they need a voice. I don't have to agree with it per se. There's wellness again. I mean, it's all about this. There's a lot of emotional triggers in this book. I think the government's trying to put some restrictions on homeopathic medicine, and I have homeopathic capsules right here, like 6 feet from where I'm sitting, and like, you look at these things. You know what? I'm gonna get up for a minute, and I'm gonna show you my homeopathic capsules. I'm gonna end up bumping this camera a little bit, I think, because I have a rig that's terrible. I'll bring a couple over. I mean, these are homeopathic things you can buy. I'm gonna try not to knock the... Oh, Jesus Christ. I hate my rig. I really do. I need to get a better overhead rig. It's the worst. But like this right here, Rust Tox. This is the... You don't have to call it toxicodendron. But Rust Tox is for poison ivy. Apparently, if you take it regularly, like 1 or 5 pills. These are like little dissolvable pills you put under your tongue. You put them. Apparently, it's really good at either like mitigating poison ivy. I had poison ivy for the first time in my life, or second time in my life, last year, and it was on my damn wrist for like 2 months. But apparently, if you take this, like starting now in April. I don't know what exact thing is. A couple times a day for like a few weeks. If you ever come in contact with poison ivy, apparently it's like almost a non-issue. And I don't know what this other one is. I bought it for some reason. But anyway, homeopathic stuff is interesting because they tell you, they say, oh, this does this. So one can argue joint pain improved by motion. One can argue that it's psychosomatic, that just because you believe it does something, your body ends up doing it anyway. It's an interesting subject that has little to no real definitive answers. It's what you believe and what works for you, I guess. But they have all these little nuggets, these little, I guess, blog posts. I don't know what you want to call them. You know, gooseberries are good for the gut. Every month there's something else that's good or bad for you. You know, eat less of this, eat more of that. Do this, do that, do that, do that. And then every now and then I think there's some things that are misinformation, like eating meat. I don't think eating meat, in my opinion, affects diabetes at all. Raising your blood sugar affects diabetes, okay? I have a brother who's a diabetic. He's extremely fat. And he eats what the mainstream diet is. It's high in carbs. Carbs cause diabetes, not meat. So it's stuff like this that I like this book, but I wish that this type of stuff didn't like stain this publication. Anyway, they have all these. Like, let me get back to another thing here. I guess in the grand scheme of things, humanity as a whole doesn't know crap about crap, and everybody claims they do, and things like become popular for like a few years or even several decades, and all of a sudden they, like several decades later, like that whole recommended daily allowance of stuff, it turned out to be wrong. And look what happened. Like, you have all these fatties walking around. I'm like, at what point do people say, wait a minute, I'm not going to believe any of this anymore, I'm going to do my own research? I don't know. I mean, that may be true. Saunas, we have a sauna here, I never use it. So there's all these ads, plants, and there's all these like shout outs. Oh, a new doctor came to this place. Pilates, and like, there's so many ways to work out. I mean, the simple way to be healthy, in our opinion, is to just not be sedentary. You know, don't sit on the TV and watch 17 hours straight of your binge show or whatever it is. Park far away at the mall. Just park at the first spot you find in the back and just walk, 1,000 feet. What's the big deal? It's a fifth of a mile. Anyway, so let's flip to this. And there's cholesterol, and don't even bother reading these things. Your body, you would die without cholesterol. Okay, I think your body makes 95% of the cholesterol that it processes. Cholesterol in food is a non-factor in our opinion. I'm drinking some wine right now, by the way. A lot of ads for pharmacies here. I haven't been to a pharmacy for pills in 15 years. This may be a helpful article. A full body workout for busy people. Swing your arms, shrug your shoulders. I do that all day long, just listening to people. Wall push-ups. Wall push-ups? I mean, what kind of weakling? You can just do a real push-up. There's all sorts of things you can do. Just move your body. Just actually clean your garage. Just walk around. Organize yourself. I mean, you don't need to do any of this stuff. And by the way, having kids is a great way to get a workout, because you're lifting like a 50-pound bag of potatoes all day long because they don't want to walk. Lazy asses. Okay, here's happy and healthy. These are all buzzwords, It's like, and they're vitamin D. Vitamin D, that's a good thing, But I believe that anything you read about vitamin D is like 90% less recommended than what you really need. If they say 500 IUs, just take 10,000 IUs. That's what I do. I feel great. I haven't been sick in forever. And the sun isn't bad, by the way. The sun, 20 minutes in the sun, like just with pants on or like a bikini, it's all you need. That's it for that. And this key, I don't even know about that. That's beyond my all sorts of like laser beam joint relief. You want to get joint relief? Take hyaluronic acid. Google it. It works like amazing. So I'm going on and on here. I'm going to try and stop at 20 minutes. Whole Foods, it's an Amazon company now. Dreaming. It's a lot of feel good stuff in this book. You know, natural solutions, and they have to use the soft font. More pharmacy again. Valley Pharmacy is incredibly powerful in this book. I've come to realize. Let's say they got healthiest cuisines. This was the cover story, by the way. Healthiest cuisines. And here it is, right smack dab in the middle of the book after you read 30 pages of ads. And again, I like the book. Please don't take it the wrong way. I'm just being like an honest critic. No need to get mad at me. I'm not knocking you guys for putting together this. I mean, I'm kind of jealous actually because you're raking in the dough with these ads. Japanese, Indian, Italian, garden to table, not processed Stouffer's lasagnas. Lebanese and Vietnamese. I guess because of their exotic, what do you call it? Recipe or whatever, ingredients. I don't care what they say about this. Just avoid the carbs. It's that simple. Eat meat and dairy. And if you can't handle dairy, just eat meat. Meat has just as many vitamins, with the exception, I think, of one. Like vitamin C is hard to get in meat. Oranges and stuff like that. But eat one orange a week. That's all you need. Okay, reclaim your magic. And by the way, I'll look at the next episode or issue of this because it's now April and I'm sure there's another one out with another purportedly a computer generated image on the front. And here we go. We got this guy here, Paul Taubman, wants to make your website. This is his marketing. Does your website need healing? And obviously it's in a healing magazine. So again, I'm not being critical. I mean, I don't know if this girl wearing clothes. Pilates. I never understood Pilates. I guess flexibility is good. I mean, they say that one of the best things you can do when you wake up every morning is a hardcore stretch. Like stretch your bones and so on. And if you're an active person, you probably don't need to stretch because you're stretching just in your daily experience. But and there's yoga, and a lot of people do yoga, hence why 98% of women wear yoga pants now. And I see this lady a lot. This picture was probably taken 10 years ago, but Dr. J. Redmond, they're in Somerville, Redmond. It's a wellness center, and they have a technique called the neuro-emotional technique to help you get de-stressed. And then they go, this is a good article here, Frugal Foodie. What to do with wine and leftover fruit. Our rule of thumb here at this house is give it to the dogs. But they give you some tips here on what you can do with you can repurpose whatever, like lemon peels you can make in some sort of flavored marinade or something, or whatever it is. Again, I mean, I like this book. I mean, there is good stuff in here, but you sort of have to be diligent in understanding that not every single piece of information in this book is on the up and up. Honestly, maybe these guys don't know it, but just because it's like organic or wind driven or what have you doesn't necessarily make it good. Just because it's an alternative to what is considered the mainstream bad guys, spiritual. That's another big keyword. Spiritual. It's incredible. I mean, the amount of junk we have to deal with as human beings in this world, because everybody wants to climb over everybody else and win and this and that. So let's take a real quick look here. I'm pushing 20 minutes now on this video. Upbeat kids, how to keep kids positive. I'm going to scan this over. I do everything like stream of thought here. I didn't study this. I didn't have like an objective in terms of what I wanted to talk about here. There we go, yoga and Pilates and wellness again. A hair salon. It's an organic hair salon. You know what? I wash my hair with a bar of charcoal soap. Okay, it costs me like $3 for like 6 months. I don't need any fancy anything, and my hair is softer than silk. It's unbelievable. But I guess they're trying to capitalize, and I'm sure they're a good place to go. But I guarantee they cost a lot more. So upbeat kids here. We got empathize. Yeah, I guess. I mean, you know, relabel. I don't know what that means. Specify what went wrong. Optimize and rewire. Mobilize for change. You know, my tip for upbeat kids is redirect. If they're getting bent out of shape about something, just reintroduce them to something that's proven to be fun for them, and then you have an upbeat kid. I mean, it doesn't have to be this complicated. And here's another one, copper. I don't know. I'm on the fence with that. I really don't know. And look at this quote here. This is crazy. Look at this. Bad weather always looks worse through a window. No. Bad weather always looks worse when you're in it. I don't know who came up with this quote. It's pouring rain. You go outside. It's going to suck if it's windy and branches are falling on you. I don't know. I'd rather look at it through a window. And at the end of this book, the last 10 or 15 pages is some kind of calendar of events. This is kind of helpful. You can scan through it to see what's happening in your area. There's seminars and home prep. I mean, there's tons of stuff you can do here. Some are probably worthwhile and some aren't. And look at advertiser specials. I don't know what that means. Can someone tells me? I'm pointing out an error, and I speak in a bad way. But anyway, here's what's happening this weekend here. Qigong. I don't know. I wouldn't knock the Chinese medicine actually, because they have like the largest country in the world. I mean, maybe because they don't have certain issues with integration and multiculturalism. That's possible. And then they have further on, they have a little directory here. You know, acupuncture, colon. I've done colon hydrotherapy. It's pretty amazing. It's kind of scary and uncomfortable, but it's kind of amazing. And there's a whole mix of stuff here. Websites, commercial kitchens. This is a handy book. This is why I like this book. They give everybody a chance to get their feet wet in things and to determine on their own whether it's okay or not. But anyway, that's it for this episode number blank. Where am I? Blank. And that's it. We'll look at the April issue in a week.